Hello, and welcome to another Crack-a-Pack. Today, we will be opening our third play booster from Lorwyn Eclipsed. And as always, we'll be making a pack 1 pick 1 as though we were drafting this pack. And after that, I've got a foil promo pack for us to open up together. This I got for winning my draft pod in the first Lorwyn Eclipsed draft I ever did. I built a blue-red elementals deck, which was really fun to play. I've actually got it right here. The main thing that I had going on was this Champion of the Path, and using Ashling's command to copy it. And beyond that, it was further enhanced by Twin Flame Travelers. So not only are we dealing a bunch of damage whenever an elemental enters, we are potentially doing it more than once. I also had a couple of these guys that deal 2 damage whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater. I also managed to pick up 3 copies of Tweez. I don't know if that should have happened, but even though this deck was mostly creatures, it really felt like it played more like a burn deck. Because there were just so many ways to do direct damage to my opponents. So yeah, this deck went 3-0 and won the promo pack, so we can open that up together after doing our regular Crack-a-Pack. Let's get right into it. First up, we've got Silvergill Peddler. It is 2 and a blue for a 2/3, Merfolk Citizen, at common. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. I should let you know, Longlake Klaken were very interested in that one, but I'm willing to entertain a better offer. Reluctant Downguard is 2 and a white for a 4/4, Kithkin Soldier, at common. This creature enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control enters while this creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove a -1/-1 counter from this creature. Keeping others out of the down is the only thing that motivates some to step outside their walls. Yeah, In a Kithkin deck, these counters can come off pretty quickly. Verdok Core is 3 for a kindred artifact, Shapeshifter, at common, with Changeling. Tap to add 1 mana of any color, and pay 4. This artifact becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. As Isulu drifted past in a swirl of shadow and moonlight, the strange, half-buried stones began to wake. So, a mana rock that can also become a creature. Feed the Flames is 3 and a red for an instant at common. Feed the Flames deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Fire is always hungry and never picky. Barbed Bloodletter is 1 and a black for an artifact equipment at common, with flash, and when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains Wither until end of turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. Equip 2. Great Forest Druid is 1 and a green for a 0/4 Treefolk Druid at common. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Forget the elves, that meddling fairy queen, and those greasy machines. If you ask me, it's the generous who should be remembered. Yeah, I think this is a great creature for fixing your mana, or just being a good blocker. Riverguard's Reflexes is 1 and a white for an instant at common. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains first strike until end of turn. Untap it. If you hire a Riverguard for protection, go in with your best offer. They won't consider anything less. Senna, Fairy Pilot. Dawnblessed Pennant is 1 for an artifact at uncommon. As this artifact enters, choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Whenever a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, you gain 1 life. Pay 2 and tap and sacrifice this artifact. Return target card of the chosen type from your graveyard to your hand. I keep wanting to try this card, but I always end up cutting it for something, so I don't really know how it performs. Oh, nice. This was my first pick from last week's video. Deep Channel Duelist is white-blue for a 2/2, Merfolk Soldier at uncommon. At the beginning of your end step, untap target Merfolk you control. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. He flourished his blade, and the Wanderwine flourished too. To this day, he still felt in every current. The Legend of Flynn. At this point in the pack, without knowing the rare or anything, this would probably be my first pick for this pack as well right now. Ooh, actually, we've got Morkant's Loyalist. 1 black-green for a 3/2, Elf Warrior at uncommon. Other elves you control get +1/+1. When this creature dies, return another target elf card from your graveyard to your hand. Despite recent alliances, we must never forget the ideals of perfection which define us. High Perfect's Decree. Yeah, we kinda have to decide if we would want the Elf Lord versus the Merfolk Lord. But for me, I think this is probably the front runner right now, depending on what the rare is. And it is still the front runner compared to Dream Harvest, which is 5 hybrid blue-black, for a sorcery at rare. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they have exiled cards with total mana value 5 or greater this way. Until end of turn, you may cast cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. Fairies swarm to snoring boggarts, like vultures to rotting meat. Ew. How nice. We've got Brigid, Clacken's Heart. She is 2 and a white for a 3/2, legendary Kithkin warrior, at rare. Whenever this creature enters or transforms into Brigid, Clacken's Heart, create a 1/1 green and white Kithkin creature token. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay green. If you do, transform Brigid. And she becomes Brigid Down's Mind, a green 3/2 legendary Kithkin soldier. With tap, add X green or X white, where X is the number of other creatures you control. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay white. If you do, transform Brigid. That's going to be a tough choice. We've got a foil, Voracious Tome Skimmer. It is hybrid blue-black, hybrid blue-black, hybrid blue-black, 4823, fairy rogue, at uncommon, with flying, and whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you may pay 1 life. If you do, draw a card. She spoils the book before you read it. A foil full art forest. So pretty looking. And a placeholder card. So for me, it's going to be between the Loyalist and Brigid. I think they are both quite strong. Brigid especially on her backside, where she can generate a ton of mana. But I think the Loyalist would also be an excellent start to an elf deck. It is a strong uncommon that solidly puts us in that deck. But I think we have 2 pretty clear directions we could take here. And if we do take Brigid, then I think the person after us would almost certainly be taking the Loyalist. So the question, I guess, is going to be, which deck do we think is going to end up better? And I think the answer is going to be elves. Even though Brigid is maybe the stronger card on its own, because she doesn't really need other cards to be able to do her thing. I think the potential deck that we're putting ourselves in with the Morkin's Loyalist is going to have a higher ceiling, and speculating on creating a more powerful deck overall sets us up for higher value in the long run. So yeah, I would be going with Morkin's Loyalist here, but I could certainly see the argument for Brigid as well. But I would love to hear your opinion. Would you be going with one of these? Or would you be going with something else in the pack? Let me know. And before we close out, let's open up the promo pack. Alright, we've got a Gloom Ripper, Silvergill Mentor is our uncommon, and a Sleep Cursed Fairy from Wilds of Eldraine. Nice. And that will do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Lorwyn Eclipsed Crack-a-Pack. I hope you've been enjoying the set so far, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. I truly appreciate all of your support, and I hope you have a wonderful day.